Hey everyone, welcome to the Sc2AI Arena Tournaments 2022. We've got to the quarterfinal stage, and I am here with Ketroc. Hey,
Hello.
how you doing? And Yatahunt.
Hello.
You are looking spectacular today, sir.
Well, I put my special contacts for this occasion.
Yeah, always well worthwhile. Well worthwhile. Yes, so tonight we have got two quarterfinals for you. So let's just have a quick look at how everything is going so far in the tournament. If we can get that, sorry.
Yeah, so the round robin's all done. We're down to the final 8 now.
Yeah, so that was our completed group stage with Ketroc, Micro Machine, Negative Zero, and Errors all winning their groups, all top seeds through first, which is good to see. So that leaves us with this bracket. Ketroc versus WhaleMean tonight, and the winner of that will play tonight's other quarterfinal, which is Negative Zero and Sharpened Edge. That will be coming up a bit later. So yeah, Ketroc feeling confident tonight.
Yeah, kind of. I usually do well versus WhaleMean, but we'll find out. Typically, I play safer builds when I'm placing random bots, but Shark Nice is no slouch at the macro game, so that might actually put me behind. All depends what he tries to do. But I'm probably leaning towards him choosing me. We'll have to find out.
You did kind of pick the wild card in this quarterfinal. Yadon, how do you see this going?
Well, WhaleMean was one of the unexpected surprises, right? About the front spot.
Yeah.
Or I think. So let's see. I mean, wishing the best for both the opponents, but yeah, I mean, I hope that we have good games as we had in the qualifying.
Yeah. I mean, WhaleMean did pull a bit of a surprise. I mean, I guess you could call it a bit of a surprise, but like he was in the group with Zoe and Micro Machine. He took a game off Micro Machine and then smashed Zoe. So it was a really good performance. But yeah, losing out to Micro Machine is no embarrassment, as we've seen plenty of times before.
But I think that he was supposed to be the third head on on that group. So that's why I'm saying that surprise, because Zoe, even if she is a great third, it was basically no way to win that one. So unexpected surprise, and yes, always nice to have a random bot, even if we all know random. So it's going to be maybe fast games. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who's ever played against a random on ladder, you'll know exactly what we mean. Right, okay, let's get into this, guys. Has everyone got the first game loaded up? Good to go.
All good to go.
Yeah, same here.
Awesome. Right, one sec. Just change the thing over. Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so spawning in the top right, it is my own creation. It is the red Terran Ketroc.
And in the bottom left, we have now as a Terran as well to WhaleMean.
Okay, so I guess this is going to play like his Mecha Shark bot. So he does have a Terran bot. He has one for each race. Or maybe he has some special random version of Terran set up for this.
I was watching a game of Mecha Shark this morning, and wasn't afraid of going in the late game, honestly. I mean, and not sure if it was a mistake or not, but he was using tons of workers to help the Marine. So let's see how they go.
Yeah, I mean, all of his bots can play macro late games. I think I'd probably have the edge in those situations, but at the same time, if my bot's being super defensive because I'm worried about cheese, he could get a big lead and extend that into a late game victory. However, with that said, there is 2 gas down already, so I don't think this is going to be a long macro game.
Yeah, I mean, for Protoss, usually when you have 2 gases, means that you're going for the late game. It's the same for Terran.
Yeah, I mean, at minimum, you're getting your factory before your command center.
Mm-hmm.
So,
just interestingly, like, does your bot now know that you're playing against Terran? Because I know there was a bug in the API very early on where if someone played random, it would always tell you their race. But I'm not sure if that still exists or not.
I don't think it exists on AI Arena. It might still exist, but my bots never use that. There's like there's an actual race, and then there's a requested race. So I only ever look at the requested race to see what my opponent is. And so in that case, it would just say random. So my bot will not know that it's placing a Terran right now.
Anyway, this time WhaleMean didn't lie. He says that I'm random.
He says you're welcome because it was so helpful.
Indeed.
Yeah, the biggest BM of any bot ever.
So an early armory out of WhaleMean. This will be interesting. That could mean Thors. That could mean
Mines.
Yeah, mines. Yeah. To keep the burrow. Could just be for a +1 timing, mech timing, maybe. Although he's making 2 barracks.
And seems that WhaleMean didn't implement killing the cleaning bots. They're still around, even if we have idle marauders in his base. So, well, same for you. Oh, you don't have any army at the moment, do you, Ketroc? No, yes,
Just the
you do,
bunker.
you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And expanding to the second.
Yeah, so this is the build I use versus random typically. It's you got a couple factories before I expand, and a bunker, and hopefully that can handle most cheese that comes my way. And then it does put me behind economically, but it's worthwhile.
Yeah, I think it's worth the double quotes risk. Having to invest those 100 that you get back 75. So yeah. So
There's still no second command center from WhaleMean though, so this is definitely not a macro build we're bringing out here.
No, and he's keeping all of his money spent with the existing structures he has, so I don't think he'll even... Yeah, he's even stopped his worker production once he got fully saturated.
he was even saying Cyclone, but oh, sorry, but
Oh.
There we go. So I mean, even the not being truly honest in the build. I mean, I haven't seen a Cyclone till now, or Banshee. No, sorry, I was mixing. It was Ketroc.
Yeah.
Oh
of
my
course,
God,
I started with 2 tanks as well, so I wasn't really building Banshees or Cyclones yet either.
Yes, at least you have now the Cyclones. Ouch.
But, I mean, this is going to be a lot of splash damage bringing in here.
Yeah, 2 tanks, 2 Widow Mines, a bunker, possible repair.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to work out, especially with how hesitant he's being.
Yeah. It's not looking good.
I mean...
No. And this guy kind of has that classic issue with siege tanks too, where you lose vision of the tank, and then you're like, oh, I'm safe to move in. And then you move in and get hit again. Leave, lose vision of the tank, and repeat.
Yeah, and Hellbats are not well known by the range that they have, so...
No, but I mean, if he just plowed right through, I think he would, at minimum, killed the bunker. I mean, Marauders and Hellbats can take a lot of damage and dish out a lot of damage. Looks like my bot has finished the planetary at the natural, so he's actually retreating the troops to the high ground, which could work against me, I suppose, but I think probably too much damage has already been done already.
It's interesting that WhaleMean is now distance mining from his third.
Yeah, I think once he had extra workers, he just kind of distance mines to closest patch, would be my guess. In this
Yeah.
case, the closest patch is not the closest by pathing.
That's maybe a small bug there. But,
Yeah. Well, it's more generic. Like I distance mine to the closest base,
yeah.
which means I miss out on like those mineral walls and stuff.
Yeah, I coded a query to the passing distance between bases, and for a golden wall, yeah, my favorite map, was not the
Good
best
luck.
choice.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed we don't have Golden Wall in the map pool anymore.
Big 9 hit there.
I think we almost like fell over and had a heart attack when I said I might bring it back, right?
Oh, I will look for your address, but not to send you a bottle of whiskey. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I don't know if this one base push is going to do it. I was hoping to see a command center out of WhaleMean at some point, but looks like it's one base or die, and
Yeah.
it might be the latter.
And he's not switching to any other tech, so yeah, do or die. And seems that he's not doing much. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see, because yeah, I mean, as I said in the game that we had this morning, even if it was Mecha Sark, there was some transition involved, but don't know if that long distance mining is helping as well. So
Yeah, I think the transition's too late anyhow. I'm just kind of waiting for starport units to pop out because I think that's my indicator to start getting aggressive with the cyclones.
well, or if they're
And,
trying to kill your planetary on the second, yeah.
That was misery. Oh man, that like gas geyser in my third's all messed up. It's sometimes popping out the SCVs on the wrong side and they have to go all the way around.
And those mines that have gone up, it's for any kind of reason. I mean, because maybe the scan was from your side. Yeah, I think it was from the WhaleMean that scan, and that make the mines go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're detected or if they're out of range, they may try to step forward, things like that.
I really love the way that they unborrow for the vials, cavalry vials.
Yeah, they work pretty well, especially in builds where I get the drilling claws. You can really the bot can micro Widow Mines pretty successfully.
Yeah. So looks like this is the final death push now, anyway.
Seems that way.
So is the mass cyclone army kind of like more the just counter random, or is that something you just do because I've got specific units?
Nah, it's just it's kind of hard coded into this build. The idea is just to get banshees and cyclones, and and then whatever support units are required to support these. I think it transitions off them versus say Tempest or something, but for the most part, it's just 2 factory cyclone all game long.
Well, seems to be working out for you so far. Right.
Oh man, I just looked at the units lost out.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, I didn't watch before that.
Yeah. And given you're on 3 bases to his 1, this is, yeah. I'm about ready to call it if you guys are, unless you...
Fast forward through this.
Yeah. There's much chance. So yeah, nice start there.
Yeah, so I guess this is more or less what my bot predicted, you know. Base random, get cheesed. So the safe build pays off.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, everyone knows it, as I say. If everyone's played a random on ladder, you know what to expect.
Yeah, it's true for humans as well, right?
Yeah.
Although I will say that WhaleMean is the closest to having a developed macro game in all 3 races.
Yeah.
Of all the random bots we've had on the ladder. Especially his Protoss, which is a very, very good macro game.
Yeah.
Best spot.
So yeah, I mean the other one is right now is Tyr, right? Do we have any other on ladder? these
Dominion
days?
Dog. I'm not sure if it's on the ladder at the moment, but
No, the Dominion Dog is Terran.
sorry, not Dominion Dog.
Yeah,
That's his random version.
Yeah, there is a
Mixed breed,
no, but
mixed breed. Yeah.
yeah, but
mixed
this
breed
time
is
has put
random.
the Terran one. So yeah.
Right. Just need to have a couple of seconds to sort out a quick issue.
No problem.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I was just having a weird graphics issue for a second. Sorry about that. Yes, anyway, congrats on first win. I'm just going to load up the second game, I guess. Yeah, but the weird thing is you never know what's coming next because obviously a random bot. I think its best one is definitely its Protoss, but yeah, we'll have to see what it can come up with.
Yeah, I mean, typically in tournaments, he's always on the fence about whether to bring his random bot or to bring his Protoss bot.
Yeah.
Because the Protoss does have the strongest builds. But
Yeah.
with that said, I think he's put more work into his Zerg and Terran in recent months than his Protoss. So trying to catch the other two up.
Well, the good thing about bringing the random bot is it does catch people out, even with the older builds, because they can never really kind of like just snipe build it or things like that. So I think that's the argument for bringing the random.
Yeah, it definitely removes the snipes, kind of on both sides too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you want to snipe a specific opponent, you'll need one for each race. Because I guess you can make like a Terran snipe, for instance, but then you only got 1 in 3 chance of using it.
Yeah. Although if you make 2 races, you can just do like and just hope you don't get the third. But anyway, good to go with the second game if you guys are.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Feel free.
Going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so spawning in the bottom right, down is 0-1. It is once again Terran. It is the blue Terran WhaleMean.
And in the bottom left, our not our commentator, but another Terran, Ketroc.
Yeah, so another TVT. Random not living up to its name.
No. I think it's got a lot of Terran because I think it had Terran a couple of games in the group stage as well, and I know it played Zoe as Protoss and Zerg, so yeah. And then I think it got 2 Terran games against Micro Machine and 1 its Protoss game. So yeah, it seems to be overrepresentation of Terran here.
Yeah. I remember that I was checking for the previous round his win rate versus Micro Machine, and he got exactly the ones that got the worst rate. So I mean, I think that he's being a little unlucky in the race choice, but anyway, has his pros and his cons, of course.
Yeah.
Seems that we are going for an early expand. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, switching up the build, which I'd like to see. So even is a random bot, he still, I guess, keeps track of what builds don't work and switches to other builds.
I was about to ask you if you were going to change the build, but yeah, I mean, now he's saying that he's not willing to. So that again, the Banshees and the Cyclones should be.
Yeah. So Bunky coming out, but
yeah,
this time.
Actually,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I think this is actually the only build I use versus random, because I think it's the only build I have that's like really defensive in the early game.
And, well, it's pretty strong. I mean, we have that bunker just at the beginning, then the planetary, so then the Cyclones and the tank. So I mean, so yeah, it's
yeah.
You have spotted.
Yeah,
the
Reaper does
race.
make it in. I wall off my own Marines.
Ah,
Oh, that's weird. Usually, you're very good blocking the Reaper ramp.
Right, but I don't know that I'm facing Terran, so I didn't build my initial structures there.
Ah, so, okay.
Yeah,
So that's the trick.
I mean, at least my Marines are smart enough to pop out of the bunker and go chasing after it. So hopefully the damage will be limited.
Well,
But
if this was a micro machine the Reaper, I will be almost there. So, dead. So
yeah, or even
Yeah.
like a Mass Reaper build on a random bot could be powerful since I'm so reliant on having that wall off.
mhm.
although it is interesting that like the Reaper coming across told you that you're facing Terran when he could have kept that secret for a while.
That's true. I guess typically a bot would have already scouted by now, but my bot is very anti-scouting. It's like I don't even know what race I'm up against. No reason to scout at all.
Yeah.
It appears we're facing cyclones out of WhaleMean as well. So this could be
Yeah.
some cyclone battles going on. And WhaleMean's staying ahead economically as he's going to be finishing his third before Ketroc even starts his third.
Yeah. Finish his third before you finish his second one. Yeah. Just not on location.
And the Macfield accelerator, or however that is said, it's way faster for WhaleMean, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with a random bot being Terran as well. It's like, which one is which? I have to check the tags.
Yeah. Just remember, WhaleMean is blue, the color of the ocean.
The color of mean.
But no, isn't mean a bit more kind of green? It sounds kind of mean, greenish, and tell me if I'm being crazy. Probably am. But then we wouldn't be able to call him the mean green micro machine, which is another quarterfinal entirely.
Yeah, it looks like WhaleMean knows how to wall off his ramp. I'm always impressed when bots can do that. Or as natural, I mean. Off is natural. I suppose if there's a ramp at your natural, it's probably a lot easier to detect the choke point and wall it off.
Yeah. So
And we're already on the third for WhaleMean. So the income tap is going very good for the random bot.
Mm-hmm.
It was taking much gas, but now it has been equalized. So
Yeah, and 3 orbitals to 1 is a big difference as well. So not just the base lead and the worker lead, but also, you know, more mules, 3 times the mules.
yeah,
So this is the downside of doing a safe build, but at least it's playing into the strengths of my bot, which is the late macro game. So hopefully I can make up for this economic deficit.
well, you're pretty safe defensively at the moment. You've got a couple of tanks there and a planetary. But
Yeah. Defensively, I'm feeling fine.
yeah, it's just this third that's gonna maybe be under threat.
Some weird stuff happening with workers of WhaleMean. He like transferred a bunch of workers from his main to his third, and then transferred a bunch of workers from his third to his main.
Oh dear.
It's like switch positions.
Maybe they just didn't like the scenery there, you know, just coming along for a bit of fun.
Alien's finding a handful of SCVs, transferring to the third.
OP race. Sorry, a little about with.
Yeah.
It's a good complaint to have. Surprisingly, a complaint I've actually heard many times playing mirror matchups on BattleNet.
Yeah. God damn.
People just can't help complaining about something being OP, even if it's in the mirror match.
Yeah, I know that feeling well. But everyone knows that Zerg's OP anyway, so it's fine.
Even if you're in your mirror matchups.
Yeah. Zerg's OP, guys. It's fine. Even though there's no Zerg in this match, the Zerg on here is OP, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So WhaleMean losing a bunch of Hellions, but that might have been doing him a favor because I don't think the Hellions are going to assist very much versus
Not-
this sort of mech army. Just freeing up supply for him to build more chunky units.
Yeah, it's still got a fairly sizable economic lead as well. So, although you are catching up pretty fast on that one. And this move out might do a fair amount of damage.
Yeah, I have to see a whole ton of Cyclones on both sides.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just checking the units lost and
Yeah.
it's not looking pretty.
No. Definitely not.
Oh, wouldn't mind hitting a Cyclone.
Bad.
I always love seeing that.
Yeah.
The Cyclones are the most expensive unit you can one-shot with a WhaleMean in the entire game. So much value.
It's pretty nicely cleared up by WhaleMean though. Sends you packing. For the moment, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But you are now up a base and up in
I think
workers.
the
So
much more even now. Worker counts are similar, supply counts are similar, base counts are similar.
yeah.
So I think overall that was probably a good fight for Ketroc as he's been able to get back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. Does your bot prioritize taking any of the rich guys at all, or rich patches?
It doesn't prioritize those bases, but if there is a rich geyser or a rich mineral patch, the SCVs will prefer to mine from those places if I have the base.
Yeah.
So for instance, if I don't need gas, I'll like go down to like 0 or 1 workers on gas. But if I have a rich geyser, I'll always keep 3 on gas just because it's so much value there.
Yeah. Definitely makes sense. Oh, some nice little pick-offs here.
But for a random cheesy bot, I wouldn't be surprised if Shark Nice has built something in where you take the gold base right away and then just do a heavy timing all in based off of that.
Yeah.
It can be like a significant amount of help.
Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. There's a weird little party going on in the middle.
Yeah, I can see that.
They do like just dancing all the units around.
That's what usually happens when I'm repairing my units. It's like if I ever got attacked in that moment, it's like okay, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I do like the tanks and cyclones together. You can always kite back, and if you kite back into your own tank range, it's death for the chasing units.
Yeah. Oh. Nice engagement here. It looks like WhaleMean is making some progress.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit worried about what that tank count's going to mean for my bots, because my cyclones are not going to be able to push through siege tanks.
Yeah.
And I think I just only make those original 2 tanks at the start of the game, and I never make any more.
It's a little bit of a
However,
worry.
Banshees can break through siege tanks quite easily, so that's nice.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where the cyclones from WhaleMean went to either. Oh, they all came back to deal with the Banshee over here.
Oh, okay. Well, Thors are actually on the way as well. Full mech army out of WhaleMean here.
Yeah.
Well,
Thor's
little by little, we have Ketroc in half of the bases.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about making a gas-heavy army, is that you always have the minerals to expand more and more and more.
Yeah.
Oh, a whole bunch of tanks being caught off on their own. Maybe a little ahead.
Yeah, tanks on their own are never a good thing.
Well, against ground units, this might be okay if there's enough of them, but
Yeah.
not against a bunch of banshees.
Thor's are actually doing quite good work. But yeah, Thor's against Cyclones didn't really fare as well, I guess.
Cyclones should be the hardest counter to Thors, but I have a problem with my Cyclones where they won't engage Thors. It's something I've had for a long time, and I still haven't fixed it.
Yeah. Oh.
And she's kind of randomly attacking the main base.
Yeah.
That Banshee report is scary. 30 kills.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's because yeah, died, not because it was repairing.
Oh. Yeah, I completely missed that on my observation. It's been sitting in a base just killing worker after worker.
Yeah, 30 kills, 1,700 minerals. So yeah, it must have been killing something other than. It was probably that one that got all the tanks.
Well, with 1,700 minerals.
Yeah.
Then each kill is about 50 minerals, so it's probably mostly killing SCVs.
Yeah.
There's probably a harassing Banshee in the back somewhere.
Yeah.
At the moment, we have three times the number of 30 versus 90. So
yeah, it's definitely looking as if Ketroc's turned the tide. It was a good start from WhaleMean, at least.
Yeah, it was looking very good for WhaleMean. I mean, but those Hellions were not the right choice against the Cyclones. And it snowballed as any bigger matchup.
Yeah. So
Hellions against mech don't serve too much of a purpose. You can turn them into Hellbats and just kind of have them soak up damage when the engagements happen.
Yeah.
Or you can just suicide them, just pour them into a mineral line, try to trade them out for workers. Help extend the economic lead.
Yeah, they do kill workers extremely quickly though, so yeah. I think it's looking very bad now with 15 workers and just 4 army supply. I'm about ready to call it if you guys are.
Yep, I think that it will be hell of a match if we come back out of this.
There's not much coming back from this. GG. I'm not going to crash. Fatal error.
And Get good? What the heck is that?
Get good.
Ah, okay, good game.
Yeah. Get good.
And the GT it was, or G? What was the meme the other day? GU?
GU, yeah, GU right across the middle of the map. GG, guys. Alright, 2-0 lead for Ketroc. Not doing too badly. Yeah. So, yeah, the Cyclone Banshee strategy is actually pretty strong versus the Terran. Hopefully, we'll see if there's any other races that WhaleMean can pull off next time.
I think that the Reaper that sent WhaleMean, it was not supposed to be scouting because it was already a mech apart from the bunker. That and sending those Hellions when you have a bunker and a tank, it cannot be looking good. So
yeah.
I'm guessing that it was hard coding the weapon of choice. So
yeah, it's pretty unlucky of WhaleMean to spawn as Terran twice in the individual mirror matchup as well. So
yeah, whenever I get random in ladder and I lose versus a third, it's like, What the heck?
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. All right, let's have a look at the third game. Give me a shout when you guys are all good to go.
I'm ready.
Same here.
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I see a problem right away in that the map name is missing a space. And I'm pretty sure that just blew up my bot.
Oh.
'Cause it looks like I have an exception on game start, which is unfortunate because we finally get to see Shark Nice's Protoss.
Oh god. Well, yeah. Okay, we might
Yeah.
have a problem here, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, so if my bot like blows up on a specific frame, it's usually okay. Something might go wrong, but you know, it'll recover in subsequent frames. But this one, it blew up on game start, which meant all the initial setup I do didn't happen. And yeah, I can see that my bot's actually completely idle, so it must be just throwing errors every single game frame now.
Yeah. Okay, shall we fast forward this to the end? And
Yeah, let's see how fast we get killed.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's
Yeah, I noticed it when the map was loading, and I'm like,
okay.
Because I'm sure most bots just do like, does the map name contain Curious Minds? So then it works for all versions of Curious Minds. Mine actually looks at the specific map names because IDs work differently depending on whether it's AI Arena version or the ladder version.
Yeah, so we can fix that. Right. Let's go on to game 4, shall we?
Yeah, never happened.
Didn't see nothing, guys.
You didn't see anything.
Yeah.
These are not the bots you were expecting.
This is not the bots you're looking for.
Probably glad that we caught it in this series, as
yes, yeah.
You know, if we were like 2-2 going into game 5 or something, then
it might be a different thing, but yeah.
Yeah,
no,
especially if like we replay game 5 and WhaleMean got a different race, then it'd be like, oh, that's
that sucks. But hopefully you won't be Terran again for the next one. That would kind of suck. All right, so
all right to go.
I'm just loading in.
Okay.
Yes, onto you, good to go.
I'm ready.
Okay. I see the problem already.
Yeah, that's what I'm chuckling about.
Oh god! Right. Okay. Let's do this. Going in 3, 2, 1, go.
And spawning in the bottom left, it is the not random bot. It is the Terran. It is WhaleMean.
And in the top right, doing speed mining, so it seems that it's a good map for him. It's Ketroc.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty unlucky of him to get 3 lots of Terran in the series.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see if he can pull out anything. It's not.
I think you go to jail in Monopoly when you get 3 times the same dice, don't you?
Yeah, he definitely rolled Terran, double Terran too many times in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, we have.
But it is a new build.
Yes,
because we see double proxy barracks. I assume, yeah, 2 barracks going up here. So we tried the Hullbat Marauder all in, so then we tried the macro Cyclone play, and now it's going to be a mass marine build.
Yeah, I was going to ask in my ignorance that if it was going to be Marauders or Marines, but I see no gas, so I think that even I can answer that. So
Yeah.
it should be Marines.
And I think I changed up this build order a bit to make it a little bit more tight, but in the process, it did delay my bunker. So if he attacks with these Marines right away, he might start making some progress before I get my front wall going.
Well, it seems that that Marine is not shy to go even alone to a party.
Yeah, it looks like he is moving into attack and picking away at the...
But he's going for the bunker instead of the SCV, it seems.
Yeah, a little in the bunker, a little in the SCV.
Yeah.
My Marine's refusing to engage, which is actually turning out to be a good thing. So that means he'll be alive to get inside the
Oh,
bunker.
yeah, the bunker's going to go up.
And there it goes. Do we have a... Yes. Oh, that is... It's repairing now, so... that seems to be a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you are going for a Marine all in like this, what you can do is actually just pull back, wait until you got like 15 plus Marines, and then overwhelm the bunker before they can be repaired. I don't think that's what we're going to end up seeing here, though, under WhaleMean, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Surprisingly, it's kind of having the same issue as with the siege tank. It'll back out of range, realize, hey, I don't see any units, and then go up the ramp again. But he should be able to see the bunker.
Yeah.
Maybe it's when he produces a certain amount of Marines, he just tries to go again. And then he loses a Marine and backs up.
I think it's...
threshold issue.
Yeah, I think it's when these Marines are on a certain life level, like, because they're all backing off on, like, 3 HP.
I wonder what are those dots.
Yeah.
Nothing good for sure. Oh. And the mine makes its job. And going backwards.
Yeah, my mines typically go full retreat when they're on cooldown. Come back when things are...
They've done their
off cooldown
job.
again. Yeah.
I remember preparing versus veteran and seeing that, and it was so frustrating. It's like, I cannot get to you. And then when I was able to make Ravagers, it already has tanks. So it was the opposite to this build. So I started with mines and then tanks.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No way to exploit it. And seems that WhaleMean is getting the same problem.
Yeah. I mean, really, like, WhaleMean could possibly take out of this if he got another CC, but, I mean, there are ways you can transition from this build, but you need gas and you need to get another CC, and it doesn't look like he's going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, we have...
orbital.
Sorry. Yeah.
Even skipping the orbital, which seems like an odd choice. It might get you one Marine, like a couple Marines early, faster, but mules are something that could really help a Marine all in.
Yeah. I mean, he's not got any gaff at all, so that's...
Yeah. I think we're probably just waiting on the starport units again, which will be the cue for my bot to push across. However, with that said, WhaleMean is actually banking more resources than he's spending. So maybe he'll end up
yeah. Here we
command
go.
center at some point.
Oh, no. I think it's more a case of he just can't spend all his money with that many barracks, so...
We get again to long distance mining, so I don't think that this is going to be going very well.
No. I mean, he is sending his Marines on exercises here just to get them, just get some training in. Go and run around that gas geyser. 3 times.
Reminds me my high school. Can start going around the football field. It's like,
Yeah.
why? What have I done to you? I'm a nerd. I shouldn't be running.
Oh, yeah.
I may
Well,
intercept the third base coming down here.
No.
That could be something if he picks off a command center.
No. Gonna get chased away by the Cyclones, though. Oh, wait. WhaleMean is actually building a CC.
And retreating. So maybe we got into a situation of switching the build.
Yeah,
Maybe.
still no gas, though.
Yeah. I mean, the one good thing is that he stopped throwing away Marines. So he's got a good Marine count right now. I'm not sure how he uses them, if he could somehow like counterattack when I push out or something, although I do have planetaries. Or maybe catch the tanks unsieged.
Yeah. I mean, it is still a count of 4 bases to 2, though, so that's... and it's got more drones distance mining than he has mining from his natural.
Mm-hmm. Taking a gas geyser, finally.
Taking
Interestingly,
2.
no orbital at his main, but he does have one in his natural.
Yeah. Taking 4 gas geysers at once, actually.
And that fifth,
Yeah.
base is going to find something.
Yeah, the inability to land.
Okay, so I will keep it going in a tour and go to the next one.
Yeah, he just about managed to land there, I think, right next to the bunker. Oh, bunker barracks, rather.
So we have a Reaper from the WhaleMean and a factory. Let's see what.
I think it's a bit late though, because Ketroc is moving out, taking out all the barracks.
Yeah, there goes all the production.
Yeah. When we say all the production, we actually mean literally every single one of them.
I mean, he still has 60 Marines, though.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, maybe if he gets up a siege tank in a good position, 60 Marines can buffer that tank for quite a while.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
economically.
it's not looking good for him, is it?
Even losing the factory.
Oh, God.
I think he was trying to swap it on one of those tech labs he lost a long time ago.
Oh. Yeah, it's coming into all the Marines now. Yeah, like you said, there is a fair few of them, but eventually they're going to get picked off by tanks and cyclones.
Yeah, the air units acting as spotters for the cyclones, so even with the high ground, these Marines are getting picked apart from range.
Yeah, I'm not having a Steam. Also, it's not going.
Yeah.
It's not going fine.
Yeah, I mean, who needs stim? You need like gas for stim, you know, tech. I don't think WhaleMean has got that in this. Yeah. So.
He killed 600% more units in game 1, though.
Yeah, that's good. Progress. But it looks like it's going to have to be progress for the next competition, as yeah.
I think the bot is saying it all.
Yeah, unfortunately, WhaleMean will leave us here. I'll fast forward it just to confirm. But yeah.
Well, Ketroc is asking for it, so...
Yes, should we be fast forwarding by now? Oh wow, even your bot is telling me what to do. Like,
it got the time, Skynet
yeah,
is
yeah,
here.
yeah, it was perfect. But no, congratulations, Ketroc, a position into the semi-finals.
Very nice, very nice.
Yep, there we go.
And that's where things get deadly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was not an easy matchup. I mean, I think your bot was very lucky of getting the mirror matchups, so many. But yeah, I mean, it was a really, really good try from the WhaleMean.
Yeah.
I mean, I lose to his Protoss all the time, so
Yeah, if it had
his
been three
Protoss definitely could have
Protoss,
had a good shot.
it's a shame that we messed up the map names on the other one, but oh well, we'll fix that for next time. All right, so Ketroc does play into the semi-finals next week, and he will face the winner of our next quarterfinal, and it is -0 against Sharpened Edge. -0 is obviously quite a new bot out of an old author. Mind Me has been around a while. Made additional pylons, which is another brilliant bot, and now he's come back with programming Go this time and programming -0.
Yeah, I'm programming it to like always being number 1 or number 2 on the ladder, winning the past season of Probots.
Yeah.
I think he went like 6-0 versus my bot or something along those lines. We played a lot of games because we played in the upper bracket and the finals.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like the new Protoss King versus the old Protoss King. Because
Yeah.
prior to -0, Sharpened Edge was arguably the best Protoss for like the last couple of years.
Yeah, Sharpened Edge has got some fantastic builds. I've fallen off a bit recently, but can still be deadly in its time.
Yeah, doesn't see any heavy changes or updates nowadays. So obviously he's slowly getting surpassed by the active bot authors. But yeah, just a very strong, well-rounded bot for many years.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look at the first game. I'll get that loaded up.
Just for my curiosity, before we jump into the game, is this going to be the semi-final versus Ketroc, or will be in the other bracket?
Yes, the winner of this will face Ketroc in the next round.
Okay, and we'll get oh my god, new submits or
No
more updates.
No, there's no more updates now. There's one update after the group stage, and then the bracket stage is all no more updates until the finish. So yeah, I do it that way basically to avoid people just sort of like doing single snipe builds the whole way through. It doesn't stop snipe builds, and snipe builds can be fun as well. But it does mean that you can't put all your effort into a single matchup.
Yeah.
Which is fun. All right, I am good to go when you guys are.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so spawning in the bottom left, we have the previous Probots champion. It is the red Protoss -0.
And in the top right, Sharpen Edge.
Yeah, I think these are our last 2 Protosses in the final 8.
Yes.
So
yep.
guaranteed to have one in the final 4, I guess.
The downside of that is you only have one in the final 4.
Yeah, exactly. Guaranteed one and only one.
Yeah.
Usually, lately in ladder we don't have many protos. Right now, I think it's the race with less bots. I mean, we have I think -0. We have a new one from Mind Me that is Backshot, I think. And this is random, so I will have to check. But not many protos in ladder these days.
Yeah, you've got Shark Nice, or the Protoss version of WhaleMean. That's still around. And obviously Sharpened Edge is still sort of like around and active, so yeah.
Yeah. It goes in waves.
Yeah.
I think if you want to make a bot that could make it to like the upper division on the ladder really quickly, I still think making a Sharpie bot and making a Protoss is the way to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There was a time where we had a bunch of new authors, and like 7 of the top 10 or 6 of the top 10 were Sharpie Protoss bots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
I remember
strong.
when I started that there were many other Sharpies on ladder. I was feeling like they were cheating. It's like, how they do that? How they do that? Well, they use a framework instead of the clean API from Java. So, well, good luck.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a good way of doing it. You know, there's always going to be libraries around that make things easier for you. So it's definitely not cheating. As
I
long
mean,
as
no,
you put,
it's different. I mean, it's not. I mean,
yeah,
now with the time, I mean, it's not that I was totally, throwing my
yeah,
mouse through the window or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it was like another one. So and it's 1 month later than mine, and mine is still not able to do X. So, but
yeah,
anyway, yeah, it's the kind of things that at the end, it's the effort. So.
yeah.
you can kind of just use Sharpie as like a stub too, just as a placeholder until you get to something. Like I haven't written any code to micro my ravens, so I'll just use whatever's default in Sharpie framework and then override
Yeah.
it later when I actually get to it. I like that it does a lot of the annoying stuff for you too. Like speed mining, it's already handled. A lot of the real time issues playing against humans is already handled.
Yep. So the Adept's getting in here, killing a bunch of probes and getting out. That's good.
Very nice. What was that? That was 6 workers went down.
Yeah. And still coming in for another one.
Yeah.
So
those Protoss walls don't work very well versus Adept Shades. One interesting fact is you can block Adept Shades with Adept Shades of your own. So if you do make a little 1-gap wall as a Protoss, you can throw a shade in there when the opponent's shades come your direction.
I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that they could block themselves. But
I think even force fields don't work versus shades, but your own shade will work. You'll see
that's
pro
weird.
players do it every once in a while.
Yeah. There's a lot of strange mechanics like that in StarCraft 2.
Mm-hmm. It's nice, especially when it hasn't been discovered for a long time.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, big push coming.
Mm-hmm.
Got 2 Immortals and a whole bunch of Stalkers. But 2 Immortals for Sharpened Edge, and Sharpened Edge does have the high ground if he decides to stay on the high ground.
Yeah. Well, I think he's been distracted by the shades, and now -0 is going to get up the ramp.
Warp Prism, I think Sharpened Edge uses Warp Prism Micro, so that could be a big bonus for him too in these fights.
Yeah.
I still have Concave at the bottom of the ramp for -0. Picking off units one at a time.
Yeah. He's going to try and pick off the Immortals as well.
Yeah, 3rd Immortal has arrived for -0.
Oof, that one has saved something. I mean, because otherwise it would have been total wipeout.
Yeah, very even trade. 700 units lost more for Sharpened Edge, but that's probably just the 700 resources worth of workers.
Yeah.
With that said, though, Sharpened Edge has had his economy ravaged this entire game, and we got an expansion coming out at -0.
Yeah, he does manage to save the Immortal, though. So that's...
Now we have a prison from the -0, so...
Yeah. I just don't think he's going to allow Sharpened Edge to actually get an expansion, is he? He should be able to just sit there and control the low ground, don't let him get out, and eventually just strangle him to death.
We'll attempt to break out here.
Yeah.
The prison said that who cares about the Immortal?
Mortal living up to his name though, still alive.
Yep.
He's like, screw it, I'll just go right up the ramp. That's the wise decision.
Why not?
Warp Prism for Sharpened Edge going down in the middle of the map. That's gotta hurt. And Adept's still doing crazy amounts of damage in the back.
Yeah, they're just 13 probes. Wow. Yeah, this is
Usually
something.
2-gate Robo gives you plenty of resources to expand with, but with all this economic damage, you can't even produce
Yeah.
off of those 3 structures, let alone expand.
Yeah, this is something new from -0 a bit as well. Normally he'll try and just contain at the natural. Now he's being a lot more aggressive than we've seen him previously. Like, yeah, but such a huge economic advantage now that even if Sharpened Edge does get an expansion, it's going to be difficult.
Well, a couple good fights for Sharpened Edge there. A few more of
Yeah.
those, and you might get back into this. He's able to get some Stalkers and an Immortal that are off on their own.
Yeah.
And he's camping his natural base ramp, so that's nice. That could possibly mean an expansion in his future. However, we
Yeah.
do have a 3rd base now for -0.
So the expansion is going down for Sharpened Edge, but
Yeah.
if he can hold that'd be massive for him.
Yeah. So basically what Sharpened Edge has to do is just be very efficient in all these fights to make up for the fact that he's so far behind.
Yeah. So he does still have some adepts there, but they aren't the greatest units against immortals, really.
Well, but they are very good against probes, I will say.
Yes.
And you know, immortals, they may not die, but they have to be born or warp or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow, that's still getting the economic damage in.
I remember one of the last games I made with Davakin before going to the next round of version, and I was going to mind me saying like, look at this game, it's great. It's like, oh yeah, you know, yes, you did great, you almost win me, but you were not doing anything about Warfront Roaches, so void rates and blah. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you saying? I mean, I was saying about minute 5 when I only lost 20 workers.
Yeah. So I think we saw the immortal go down, and it's 2 immortals against 1.
It's just no economy too. We got
Yeah.
Adepts denying the minerals at the natural and killing all the workers in the main.
Yeah. I think we'll fast forward this one unless you have any objections.
No.
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, really well done by
GG.
-0.
Yeah.
It's like you could keep pace with the army size of Sharpened Edge, not including his Adepts that were doing all this damage as well. He's still keeping the same Stalker count and Immortal count at minimum.
Yeah. That's,
Adept did all the work, Immortals
Yeah.
take all the glory.
all the way, all the time. All right, so nice win there for take the first game for -0. Let's have a look at game 2. Yeah, it's difficult with those adepts that -0 users are so good. They just get so many kills. It's very difficult to come back from that.
Yeah, and it appears like Sharpened Edge has nothing coded for Adept Shades. He kind of reacts as if they don't exist, and then all of a sudden, magically an Adept will appear in his mineral line, and he's way out of position.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to balance like chasing shades and, watching the actual Adepts themselves.
Yeah. I mean, adepts are such amazingly good units against Protoss for that very reason. All right, I'm good to go when you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
All right, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Do you want to do intros or?
So in the bottom left, we have our current champion of Probots and ladder, -0.
And spawning in the bottom right, down 0 to 1, it is Sharpened Edge. So I know Sharpened Edge has a Cannon Rush build. I wonder how that would work versus
I don't
-0.
know.
It's definitely is the best matchup for Cannon Rush.
Yeah. Yeah, Terrans is definitely the worst matchup for Cannon Rush because they just lift all their buildings, move them somewhere else, and then they're fine. So yes, I control your main base. Fine, I've got 2 more over here. Catch you later.
Yeah, and even the range of Marines can make things difficult. You can't really wall off Marines like you can versus Zerglings and Zealots.
Yeah.
I still think a well-coded Cannon Rush bot would absolutely murder anyone on the ladder. One day a bot's going to figure out like all the terrain stuff and then calculate how to build cannons and wall them off correctly, and then is this going to be the end of everyone?
The problem is you're going to have to do it specifically for each map, and it's going to be a tough one.
Well,
I'll see what I can do.
If it can be calculated. It's not an easy
Yeah.
task, but if you
Yeah.
can calculate it.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Print F or something, when a new ladder map comes out and he just kind of looks through the map, figuring out all the best places to put cannons. Like a bot can do that.
Yeah.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah. It's something I've thought about actually, but it's just not had the time to code it yet. I may try that.
I mean, it's something. At some point, we're going to get there with terrain. Like
Yeah.
terrain in general is something that we're lacking in the community. Good calculations on, because it'd be handy for a lot of different things. But
Yeah.
certainly, Cannon Rush is one of those things it would be useful for.
Yeah. So Sharpened Edge is trying more of a macro build, looks like this time, but the adepts are coming out now.
We have a robo from the -0.
Yeah. So interestingly, Sharpened Edge also has some adepts out on the map. Oh, well, we could have some adept on adept action.
Yeah, I think it was either Sharpened Edge or his other bot, the Harvester, that was the first adept harassing bot that existed. Oh yeah, I guess adepts versus adepts going on here.
So Sharpened Edge is tagging 4-gate defense.
Oh, beautiful. I forgot -0 can do this. He actually walls off his ramp with a pylon when he sees adept shades on the way.
Oh,
And
nice.
he'll cancel the pylon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does that versus Zergling run bys as well.
Sharpened Edge has tag for Rush Macro. I'm not sure what Rush Macro is. Like, they seem opposites to me.
Maybe Rush then macro? Or,
Yeah. I don't know.
Or just all gateways, but I'm going to keep expanding as well.
But Sharpened Edge does have a slight, like, advantage in terms of bases at the moment. He's got a
He's up
second.
2 bases to 1. He's got more workers. He's producing 2 workers at a time. This will add up to a good lead if he's allowed to get there.
Yeah. It doesn't look as if there's that much harass coming out. We've got a couple of adepts coming through, but
Well, now the whole army's coming as well.
yes, I see that now. And it is a lot of extra army supply there.
Yeah, first Immortal only halfway down for Sharpened Edge. He does have 3 shield no. 2 shield batteries on the way. That'll be useful.
That was something I was missing in the first game, that those shield batteries, in order to be able to expand, is what I think it will have been a total different situation. Let's see how it works now.
So unfortunately, it's shield batteries with no army whatsoever. It healed up a little bit of probes. First Immortal makes it onto the field, but he's facing 6 Stalkers and 2 Immortals.
Yeah.
And he put his shots into an adept. Not much going to do.
Yeah, this should be the death push now.
Yeah.
This reminds me to Bostos so much. It's like, okay, yeah, go expand. I will come back with my mortals 2 minutes from now.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So all that work Aludi had is now entirely gone by suiciding that. I'm about ready to fast forward this if you are.
Yeah.
I like how -0 even focuses down pylons.
Yeah.
Like goes to deep power structures rather than like shooting a gateway or something.
Yeah.
Second Horror never made it out.
It's just never born. Oh, GG. So 2-0 lead for -0. Let's see if we can complete clean sweep. Have a look at game 3.
Yeah, just looking super strong in the matchup.
Yeah.
That could have been, I suppose, just like lucky in terms of build orders versus each other. But if that was actually recognized, that's quite impressive. Where he's like, okay, Sharpened Edge is being greedy. He's way ahead on economy, so all I have to do is push and kill him.
Yeah.
And if that was an in-game decision, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's super impressive.
Scary good, actually.
Yeah.
Because decision making is not a bot's in the bot skill set.
Generally
We can micro
not.
really well.
Yeah.
We can't make decisions.
It's certainly not the biggest strength. But yeah, I mean, some bots do it pretty better than others, which is pretty good. So good to go with game 3 when you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready?
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, spawning in the bottom right. This is match point, so he has to win this one. It's the blue Protoss. It is Sharpened Edge.
And in the top left, we have -0.
Yep. Now, you did mention the Cannon Rush build here earlier. There is a probe coming across, which is earlier than any previous probes, I think.
That is true. Second probe on the way, actually. Which
Oh.
really smells like
Oh, there we
That
go.
smells like,
And there's a forge on the way, guys. I think we've got it.
yes.
So that's the how -0 deals with this.
First pylon's actually out of sight.
Yeah.
Which I guess is good, but you kind of want to get in your opponent's face with the cannon rush. I'm not sure if a cannon contain is going to do much against one base immortal army or something.
No. But you can obviously, if you can get one down at the bottom of the ramp and then send something up to the top, you can always. There we go. That's way better. So yeah, he does build the first cannon down the bottom there, which isn't really going to help him.
And we don't see pool. Now we have the boys.
There we go. Just -0 deal with this. So don't lose the probes. Don't lose the probes. Oh no.
Yeah. Maybe he only cares about high ground structures, which would be kind of clever as well, right? If you can't see up here, then your cannons can't shoot up here either.
Oh no, he's going to lose the second probe as well.
Yeah, and attacking that high ground.
Yeah.
And then they go back to work. Perfect. Perfect defense.
Oh, that was insanely good from -0.
A little worried about the follow-up, though. He's got 2 gateways doing nothing, no cybercore on the way, 500 minerals in the bank.
Oh, yeah, that seems a bug.
Have we broken -0? Oh
I
no.
think maybe he wants to expand and he's like stuck on that part of the build order. It could be something like that. I know -0 prefers to expand before cybercore often.
Yeah, he definitely can't get anything down there, so...
Okay, we
there's
have
a cybercore finally.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. He's got himself unstuck.
But we have a natural base out of Sharpened Edge, so how long before -0 breaks out? And will he be too far behind at that point? Zealot's actually kind of attacking into the cannons, which is not good news either. Not even attacking, just
No, they're just suiciding.
Absorbing the cannons, we'll say.
It's like target practice.
Maybe it'll allow the probe to get in.
I don't know.
Nope, because the probe is also absorbing.
Tag build underscore cannon rush. Wait, didn't you just do that?
Yep, he did that already right now.
So yeah, I think you'd have to put Sharpened Edge in a bit of a lead at the moment.
More zealots coming out, which is probably going to be funding 200 minerals more to the toilet.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Forge is actually being put to use to get a +1 ground weapon attack. That can be really important versus in Stalker versus Stalker battles.
Yeah, if you can get that extra little bit of damage, it's definitely worthwhile.
Okay, Cybercore is done, so now we have Stalkers on the way. That is, even if they're suicided, they'll do better than the Zealots did.
Sure, but that's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's actually possible to shoot that cannon from high ground.
Yeah.
But one Stalker's got pushed too far forward.
So the one very good thing that Sharpened Edge has going for it at the moment, it doesn't have to face the adept pressure that
not yet, at
it's
least.
come to.
I think he's got a couple more minutes. He's got 3 adepts of his own, 1 zealot somewhere.
Yeah.
Which I lost track of. And 3 gateways. +1 will be finished before any attack as well.
Yeah.
Okay, second time will go down. I think he'll take a Stalker with it. Nope, he won't.
Just about switched targets just before it killed the Stalker.
Blink is on the way. Now, Stalkers are extremely good versus Adepts, and...
In enough numbers,
okay,
yes.
There's only 2 Adepts out of Sharpened Edge. He's switched to Immortals and Stalkers now himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is looking great for Sharpened Edge. We'll see how these first 3 Stalkers do for -0. I mean, better micro and better attack decisions can obviously allow you to come back in a game.
Having said that, like the decision making on the micro from Sharpened Edge is never bad.
No, I mean never perfect either. But
no,
you can definitely out micro Sharpened Edge. But yeah, you're right. It's not. He doesn't do any like overwhelming mistakes.
Yeah. All right. I think it might be able to clear this up. At least a little bit.
Yeah, -0 really like spreading out and pulling Sharpened Edge apart, but it hasn't really provided him great fights. Sometimes he'll separate a Stalker and get a free kill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's separating them from the herd.
-0 might think he's still cannon contained because he expanded to his 3rd base.
Well, that's interesting. It does look like -0 is getting the better of these trades, though.
Yeah, taking down the Immortals huge. Now these Stalkers that were being held back in the north are going to be able to come in and join the fight. Sentry's not serving much of her purpose except for wasting gas that could be more Immortals.
Yeah.
Okay, another Immortal is about to pop. Just in time, too, right before the -0 gets on top of his natural base.
Yeah.
Another gateway completes for Sharpened Edge, which would be helpful with his bigger economy.
But there's nothing really on the way in terms of more Immortals from -0 at the moment.
Yeah, -0 does have an Adept just getting kill after kill after kill in the back.
Yeah. Except that it's just got out now, so...
And 3rd base on the way.
Yeah.
Blink on the way for -0. Or sorry, for Sharpened Edge. -0 already has it.
Yeah. I think it's not looking too bad though for Sharpened Edge. I think if he were to try and attack about now, he might have a window of opportunity to get some serious damage done.
Yeah, but I mean his economy lead is like 100% gone.
Yeah.
We got more probes now for -0. It's like 2 bases versus 1.5 with a 3rd base on the way.
Yeah.
We do have an upgrade lead, which is nice. We got +1 and Blink about to finish and 2 Immortals. So yeah, if you can just cluster these units together somehow and make a push.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the opposite of last game now, where now it's like, okay, -0 is ahead economically, but if you push, you might be able to kill him.
Yeah.
It's 4 sentries just funneling to their death time after time. Stalker does go down though.
Yeah.
Fighting around a vision blocker makes for an interesting fight.
I don't think that we have anything in the API to see those grass as vision blockers, do we?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I know that you have the vision map, let's call it, which is basically like a boolean that is telling you each X and Y if it's you have vision or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's one thing. But if you are not close, you cannot say if that thing is blocking your sight or not.
Yeah, I guess you could work it out just by having the vision map, but
Okay, big attack going on here at the third.
Yeah.
He was able to make it across the map. The depth distractions didn't keep him back long enough. And third base will go down. And that will even up the economies, which is exactly what Sharpened Edge needs.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to keep being units across the map here as reinforcements. So it's going to be difficult to break this for -0, I think.
Yeah, and even if he does break it, this is enough damage to like at least keep Sharpened Edge in the game. But yeah, you're right. He could push through right to victory right now.
Yeah, it took the Immortal down.
Prism.
Yeah.
Big news. And just no army left for -0. One Immortal, 3 Stalkers against like 3 times that number.
Yeah. No, this does look like a win for Sharpened Edge. So, congratulations.
I guess that expanding 4 times while Sharpened Edge was in 2 was not the best choice.
Well, I mean,
especially as you're harassing his 2 base economy. So really 2 bases of your own is already ahead.
Yeah.
The third and fourth is like each time you extend more, that's more of a risk.
All right, nice game. Let's fast forward this, I guess. Let's get on to the next one. So, one thing that counts against Sharpened Edge is I don't think it tries the same tactic again the next game, does it?
It used to use the same tactic until it was beaten. I remember that's how it used to function, but in the last couple tournaments I noticed it'll win with a strategy and then change it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just random selection now. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Possibly. All right. Let's take a look at game 4.
So it's not a sweep.
No. Neither of our games tonight have been sweeps, even though one was unlucky, but
yeah, that kind of contained just worked great. It kind of bugged out -0 a little bit, so then -0 Zealot micro meant there's a bunch of free kills, and by the time he broke out, it was already, I think, already too late. It's too big of an advantage for Sharpened Edge at that point.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so when you guys are good to go.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Cool. I'm just loading in. Okay. Going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, spawning in the top right. He lost the last game, but that's very rare for this bot. It is the Red Protoss -0.
And in the bottom right, we have a Sharpened Edge. We'll be able to equalize. Let's see.
So not going for a... Actually, no, not going for a cannon rush this time, it looks like. Which is a shame.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, he would have sent the first probe right across the map had he been going for the cannon rush.
And also making a gateway. That was not in the menu last game.
No. But knocking the cleaning bot out of the way on the way past as well. That's a bad-mannered probe right there.
Did the probe zap the cleaning bot? That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh.
Get out of here.
I don't want a clean map.
Yeah, we got a 2-gate opener out of both players.
Yeah. So I think we definitely have found a bug with -0 though, even if it's not a game-ending bug.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
was in 500, 600 minerals and not a small amount of gas. So yeah, I mean, even
Yeah.
if he was able to come back out of that, well,
Yeah.
would have been a little easier to get a victory.
I mean, he did make a decent scrap of it, even though he was down that amount. Yeah, Sharpened Edge is banking a lot of minerals. Now he's going to expand.
A couple of depths of his own.
Yep.
Very similar builds, except -0 is focused a little bit more on the gas and the early robo, whereas Sharpened Edge just skipped those two to get the quicker expansion base, only taking a second gas now.
So,
But Warp Gate's a similar timing. Army size is similar.
yeah, and these adepts are just going to sail past each other like ships in the night.
Is this a ninja base that's going to be coming out of -0?
Ooh.
It's an interesting guy idling probe up in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Okay, so the adepts do pass each other, and they will get in if they complete. They do complete, so they get inside the pylon wall of -0.
Yeah.
But they're fighting stalkers, where -0s are killing a whole ton of probes.
Yeah.
And then we have one adept out.
Yeah.
So one stalker out with the wall. Now it's getting in again.
Yeah, this is looking
This is
pretty
why
bad.
micro is important. We got 2 adepts, both got inside opponent's bases. One killed 1 probe, that one killed 9 probes.
Yeah, that's not good.
But again, against the bot, they can build 2 probes at a time. So
Sure.
you'll still have the economic lead despite losing 9 probes. At least you will fairly soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much equal on workers now again, so there is a lot more loss there.
So once again, it's up to -0 to actually push out and go for the victory, as he's going to have a huge immortal lead. Not even a robo
He's
on
got
the
like
production tab yet.
3 of them on.
2 immortals. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 immortals, the 3rd on the way. That's going to be pretty tough to hold. He needs some shield batteries up now if he's going to get anywhere near holding it.
And now we have army, but we don't have shields.
Yeah. Pretty much the opposite of our previous game. This is going to be a tough hold for Sharpened Edge, I think.
Yeah. And sentries, guardian shields, something, I guess.
Yeah. Oof, the Guardian Shield just walked out on its own, though.
Nice focus fire by Sharpened Edge.
Yeah.
So he does take down a few stalkers with his own army. But that leaves 2 immortals versus nothing. Which,
Yeah, that's
I'm not a
well
pro
capable.
StarCraft 2 player, but I'm pretty sure that immortals beat nothing.
yeah. I mean, you're better than most of us, so that's. I'm going to take some tips on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Third
So-
immortal has arrived.
Let's let Sharpened Edge do his little victory dance for a moment. Yeah, this is.
Sharpened Edge is doing a victory dance. He's in the wrong game.
Yes, no. -0, you know what I meant, like the other one. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done by
GG,
Nick
guys.
this year.
Yeah, no, it's.
Even in the game you lost, he did some impressive things. So.
Yeah. What does the pencil say to the other pencil? You're looking sharp.
One of the issues in your bucket's really good too is finding things to work on. So It's almost better to lose due to a flaw in your code, because then you immediately you can improve your bot.
Yeah, and Sharpened Edge really needs to improve his jokes as well. So, but yeah, I mean, for a bot that hasn't been worked on in a while, Sharpened Edge is still sort of like up there in the top 8 of the tournament. It's still super impressive.
Oh yeah.
So
I think he added speed mining and he fixed some ability IDs or something, but it's more or less has been an untouched bot for so many seasons now, and yet it remains, like a top 10 sort of bot.
It's always up there hanging around.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a 3-1 victory for Sharpened Edge. That's I've said that twice. For -0, that's the one.
They're both dirty Protoss. It's all the same.
Yeah. Protoss OP, guys. So let's just take a quick look at the. Let's take that off. At the bracket. So Ketroc 3-1 victory over WhaleMean, -0 3-1 over Sharpened Edge. They will meet in the semi-final. Tomorrow we will be starting an hour later again at 8 o'clock UTC with Micro Machine up against Spud and Eris up against Benbot BC. Do you guys see any upsets coming from there?
Benbot BC's had a pretty successful history versus Eris and Spiny. I don't even know if he's ever been swept by that bot, and they played each other a lot. So sometimes he takes him out, sometimes it looks really close.
Yeah.
And also a bot that's always being updated. So if there were to be an upset, I would guess Benbot BC over Eris, but that it looks pretty clearly like Eris and Micro Machine would be facing each other in the next round.
Yeah, I mean, I think Spud facing Micro Machine is probably the worst one he could have faced with his builds. Up against Eris or -0, you might give him that tiny glimmer of hope, but up against Micro Machine, I don't know if that's really going to work out for him, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, when Terran bots do beat better Terran bots, it's often with a lot of Cyclones, and I'm not sure if I'm getting Spud mixed up, but I think Spud does have a build where he just kind of masses up Cyclones.
Yeah.
Maybe mixing him up with Dan the Man 3, though. I'm not sure.
Possibly.
But
yeah.
If he does have a Cyclone build, Cyclone Moon's have beaten Micro Machine.
Yeah. Yes, aren't you predicting any major upsets there?
I'm basically following our pro, so following the words of Ketroc. I guess that if something happens, will be from Benbot BC versus Eris. Well, remember that he was about to kill Eris, but then lifted the barracks and started making a marine in the air. That's the way that Eris was able to get that series in Probot. So, I mean, it will be interesting matchup, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One thing you can never discount in tournaments too is if you come up with a snipe. And we know the Micro Machine's not being updated, and Spud likely is being updated. So maybe that author comes up with something special just for Micro Machine.
Yeah, it's
Micro
possible.
Machine has been the victim of that many a time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Spud did see the bracket he was facing and told us it was an easy run through, but his specific words were, "It's an easy road ahead." I'm pretty certain that he wasn't exactly. Yes, a little bit of sarcasm involved, but we'll see his words are prophetic or not. Prophetic or pathetic, either one. But no, he's definitely in with the show. But anyway, thank you both for joining me here, and hopefully you'll both have you back tomorrow night if you're about.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Cool.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you guys, and thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.